Okay. Just first of all, we all know Cadel Evans, the mountain biker. Can you tell us a little bit about Cadel Evans, the person?
Two different people, I think, from what people tell me. When I'm riding, when I'm training, concentrate on that, do everything as best I can, and do everything 100%. But when I step off the bike, I think, I split personality and I change the other personality. Much quieter, relaxed, usually pretty tired from training, so I haven't got a lot of energy to do a lot of other things, but quiet and relaxing, I think.
Okay. You started out as a road racer, I believe, or you started out on the roads, normal bikes, as I would call it.
I started racing mountain bikes originally in late '91. I think I did my first ever mountain bike race, and took up road racing more as for preparation for mountain biking, and have continued to use it for that reason. But it sort of seems to have opened another career option for me, maybe somewhere down the track.
And how did you get into mountain biking?
Just by luck, I think. It was it looked appealing, and my family, we moved out to the country, and it sort of lived in a good area to ride and have access to go to town or whatever. So a mountain bike was the right thing, and that's what got me into the sport.
Okay. Mountain bikers got different disciplines. You got the downhill, you got the cross country. Why, or what for you was the attraction of the cross country, and why are you sort of more suited to that?
Originally, I think it was success in cross country. I started doing both downhill and cross country. I think I wanted to be a downhiller at first because it's too much training for cross country, but that was my physical attributes are much more suited to cross country, and success obviously came there, so that was the one I pursued.
Okay. What do you consider to be your strengths?
As a rider, technical skills. Climbing, power to weight ratio helps on the climbs, and an all-round rider. Now I've sort of developed to this level where I can be competitive on pretty much any course, I think, so that's probably my biggest strength.
And weaknesses?
Ice cream and really cold weather.
Okay. And you moved to Cannondale for this season. How has that sort of benefited you or your career?
The main reason for my move to Volvo Cannondale was to be in a team that's well supported and really geared towards the 2000 Olympics. It is a big team, but the team has a lot of support staff, and I really want to be in an environment where I could work with a lot of people for a common goal, and have the time to get to know everyone, to work out exactly how we want to do everything, training, and during the race there's a lot of little details that we want to get right before the Olympics come, so that I can, on my day, I'll be at my best.
And that's your sort of long-term goal, the Sydney Olympics?
Yeah, obviously, the Olympics in home country, and it's certainly a big thing for any athlete, and so that's, at the moment, that's where my career's headed.
Last year, would you say you were a privateer or something? How would you describe it compared with this year? You're sort of with the Volvo Cannondale team. What differences between last year and this? Last year,
I was with a professional team, and it was the same. It was a smaller team. Not that that's it has advantages and disadvantages. I think both the bigger and the smaller team. Last year, as far as the World Cup went, bad luck was my problem with flat tyres, and maybe lack of experience as well. It was my first year on the World Cup, and my first full season of World Cup races, so that had a lot to do with it as well.
Okay. This weekend, obviously World Cup final. How do you see the weekend panning out for you?
Well, I hope. I've done all I can to be in the best shape I can be, as fit as I can be, and the course, I think, for me is good, and all things going well, I can expect to have a good race. Obviously I have to finish within the top four if the second or third ranked riders are winning. So that's obviously really important for me this year. The World Cup is my main goal, and this race is a big part of that goal.
Is the title as good as yours?
I don't know.
And who do you see as your sort of main rivals? Obviously a couple of guys are in with a chance of overhauling you. Are there any in particular that you're sort of afraid of or you're worried about?
I'm not afraid of, but certainly the biggest competition I think will come from Rune Hoydal, who's second in the rankings, third Miguel Martinez, and last time we raced on this course 2 years ago, Martinez won here. So I think he'll really be the one to watch, and I'll be watching him.
What are your sort of tactics? Are you going out to win, or are you going out to sort of damage limitation? If you see these guys ahead, you just want to keep them within sight, and you're quite happy to come in second or third?
I want to win.
Yeah.
All World Cups that I go to, this year, my goal is to win the World Cup, and that the more World Cups you win, the better chance you have of that. But obviously, having a bad day, or you just can't, something happens, you just can't be up there at the front. You've got to do what you can to get the best position you can.
Okay. You've already achieved so much, I think, in your career. You're still 21. What goals are you setting yourself? You mentioned the Olympics, and how much do you think you can achieve?
For now, I've still got the World Cup is my major goal. It's not over yet. It's be over this Sunday, and we'll see how that finishes up then. And then of course the Olympics. Beyond there, I think in 2000 my career is really depending on the results of this weekend, next year, and at the Olympics. I may be at a point in my career where I can look at taking another avenue, maybe a career on the road or sticking to mountain bikes. And so right now I'm just looking through till 2000, and I'm taking it as it comes from there.
Okay. You raced on the road, as we said, and the mountain biking. How do you compare the two? What different are the demands on the ride, and what are the different demands?
It depends a lot upon I think the where you're racing on the road. I do a lot of the racing and my preparation races in Italy, where it's actually quite similar to mountain biking, where it's really a lot of climbs, and a real strongest at the end is a real race of attrition, like a mountain bike. And that racing suits me, but of course there's road racing where it just comes down to a bunch sprint, and which for me doesn't suit me. But I think the main differences, the tactics on the road, there's a lot more of, and a lot more teamwork.
Okay. Which do you prefer, mountain biking, road racing, and why?
Mountain biking is really my sport. It's what I started with. That's my job. That's how I earn my living, racing mountain bikes. But I certainly I would have to say mountain bike, because it is my sport. But road racing is still for me a great sport, and maybe that will be what my main priority is in the years to come.
Okay, just staying with road racing briefly, the Tour de France this year, obviously it shocked everybody what happened. How surprised were you, or what was your reaction when you heard the news about the sort of drug allegations?
Initially, I was very, very shocked, but at the same time, I'm glad that it happened. It's good that the people that are doing the wrong things in the sport are getting caught. And beyond that, I don't know all the details, so I'm not going to make a judgment until I know all the details, if we ever do. But initially very shocked. And
are you afraid possibly that something like this might blow up in the mountain biking world, or is that sort of not an issue?
I couldn't see it happening, but I could be wrong. I don't know everyone in the sport, but I couldn't see it happening myself.
Okay. We were talking to your coach this morning, and he sort of gave us a bit of background information. He said about this accident that you had when you were sort of 7 or 8 with the horse. Can you just sort of tell us a little bit about that and what you remember of what happened?
I remember waking up in hospital thinking, where was I? I was only 7 years old, and I a horse kicked me in the head and a bit of a problem. I was in a coma for 6 days in intensive care, and I woke up and, wow, what's happening? Basically, I was kicked by the horse, airlifted to hospital, and in intensive care, and I'm lucky to be here today because of it. To survive that accident, to survive in a reasonably normal way is very, very fortunate.
And those experiences, I mean, obviously you were only 7 when they happened. Do you think those experiences have affected you or influenced any decisions that you made in the future, maybe about your career and how determined you are when you're on the bike?
I certainly got me used to having severe headaches. Beyond that, I don't know.
Okay.
And I wear my helmet a lot more often than most riders do, I think.
Fine. Great. I think that's all. That's all we've got. That's excellent. Thanks very much.
No, light-hearted. Oh, I hope it doesn't come across too seriously.
No, that's great.
Yeah, this one's smelling a bit.
Yeah, it's just what. That's the gel just warms up.
Oh
yeah.
Do you have your actual mountain bike? Is that sort of around anywhere?
It went back to the truck.
Alright, okay. I was